This is a short recording on how to fill out a unit study journal. I'm going to share my screen. You'll see that I'm here in my own personal unit study journal. And here on page 2, or well, the very first page of the book of the unit study journal itself, page 1, it gives you the types of pages that will be contained in this unit study journal. We'll have topic pages, and then it gives me some instructions. It says students should complete 1 notebook page for each topic. You don't have to do 4 notebook pages, and you don't need to do less than 1, but each page should include an image. The student should write at least 1 sentence per grade level. So for example, a 6th grader would write 6 sentences minimum, while a 3rd grader would write 3 sentences. There's a section for your activities to be recorded and your memorizations. And at the very end of your unit study journal, you will record your reflections, which is a reflections page. So let's just take a quick look at those pages. Here is a topics page right here. And to get to this particular topic page, I need to go back to my topic. Let's suppose I'm doing topic 1 on my ancient civilization, which begins with archaeology. You'll notice that there's a story, there are videos, timeline cards, there are activities and images and memorizations. So I'm going to use images because I'm going to choose one of these to put in my unit study journal. All right, in the story, if I've read the story, it actually talks about archaeologists who work underwater. But while that's really interesting to me, I'm kind of more interested in this image right here of students who are digging, because to me that epitomizes what archaeology was to me. That one or this one below. Let's see if there's no more. So I'm going to choose this picture and I'm going to I right clicked it. Okay. And I am going to left click copy image. So now the image is copied. And I'm going to go back to Mrs. Pope's unit study journal. And I am going to paste it right here. And I'm just going to move it up where I want it. Okay. And then I'm going to write what I want to remember. So I don't need to include this sentence right here, but it does remind me of what my assignment is. My assignment is to write. And I think I remember that I'm supposed to write a minimum number of sentences per my grade level. Supposing that I'm 6th grade, I'll begin writing. Archaeology. Oops. And then I'm going to start to write my sentences right here. Okay, so as I finish up, if I'm a 6th grader, I need a minimum of 6 sentences. And if I needed, suppose I had more information to write than was just here, I'm just going to click this button right here that says plus, add a new slide on the topic of archaeology, and I can type an entire page more if I choose. Okay, I'm going to go down. There's a topic page for each. Each topic gets its own page. So when we get to Mesopotamia, there'll be a page for my picture and what I need to remember from the story. I go through each of those topics, and I will do that over the course of the next few weeks, whether I'm in a live class or in a class by myself doing independent study. Now, any activities that you may do, this is the activity page, and we're really just taking a look at the unit study journal. Any activities that you do should be recorded somewhere. They need to be recorded. For example, here is the activity page that goes with activity A. So if I'm back here at my images, remember I picked my images, Now I want to go back to my activity. What is the activity for this unit study? Well, for third and fourth graders, it is a mom's archaeological dig site. If you're a fifth or sixth grader, you're going to do a cuneiform tablet or an ancient family relic heirloom. So for this assignment, there are some wonderful questions to ask. You're supposed to take a camera and a notebook and a pencil, walk around your house, write down or photograph some things that you find, and talk about what it was used for, what it is and what it's used for. And you might want to pick more obscure objects, maybe not a pencil or paper because those things are simple, but something that people in 500 years might wonder, what did you use that for? So then you can, you know, take a picture of those objects. We're going to save those pictures and use them in it. But then you also want to ask your parents, what was life like at your age? Do you still have objects from your childhood? What are they? What were they used for? You think to yourself, what's the oldest thing I own? Do I have anything from when I was a baby? Is there a story about when or why I got that item? And then you can go a little further. You can even ask your grandparents, what's the oldest object they have? What was it used for? And what is it? So here's an example of someone's collage. And they have this beautiful 1896 coin that's very old, some old books, some stuffed animals. I think they probably chose their personal oldest item and then some oldest items that belonged to other family members. And they created a little collage. And then you'll notice right here at the activity, when it gives you some options of what to do, it'll say, after you finish your activity, you're going to write in your unit study journal about what you did and what you learned. Include a picture of your activity. And that's really the key to the unit study journal. When you get to the activity page, you need to write what you did and what you learned. I went around my house taking pictures of a few things that in years might seem unusual. Okay? And then I'm going to write and tell them I learned that my grandparents, you know, have some very old items left from their childhood. And those are the things I'm going to record. I do that each week for each activity. So week 2 will be activity B, week 3, activity C, week 4, activity D, and so on until I'm done. And when I turn in my unit study journal, I need to have my memorization. And so let's go back to our ancient civilization modules, and we want to look at memorizations. Here are a few memorizations, okay? And I could choose any one of these, and I'm going to try to memorize it. This is one of my favorites right here. One of the most interesting parts is the detective element. Archaeology is like a jigsaw puzzle, except that you can't cheat and look at the box, and not all the pieces are there. So I'm going to highlight this, push Control and the letter C, which will copy it. Then I'm going to go back to Mrs. Pope's unit study journal, and I'm going to type it right here. I just paste it in. This is the actual memorization that I am trying to memorize. That's why I've included it. Let's increase our font size. Okay. I don't have to do anything else. I've just copied and pasted it here. You can also type it in. You can handwrite it and take a picture of your handwriting. You can do it any number of ways. But you'll need a memorization for each week that you're in class, at least one. You don't need more than one. When you're entirely done with your unit study journal, you will fill out this reflection page. Of all the places we learned about, which one would you most like to visit and why? And which of the civilizations we studied would you most like to live in? Why? And which would you least like to live in and why? So you can see that at that point, my unit study journal will have been complete and I will have finished all the pages in here. Now, in the next video, we'll talk about how we're going to submit our unit study journal, and we'll do that in the next one.